Hello Doombots. So right now you're at the spoiler video where I talk all the crazy big spoilers we get for Kraven Hunter. First of all, is there a post-credit scene? No, there is not a post-credit scene. I waited to the freaking end of the credits and there was nothing there. So yeah, I really got fooled. Shame on me.
You just took like 20,000 hours from my life, so I deleted all our pictures off my fucking drive. Sorry.
Spoilers for this movie. The first thing that I want to say is that this is just a little bit free-flowing. I got a couple bullet points right there on my laptop. If there is anything that I've missed in my spoiler talk, please let me know in the comments down below. Then we can continue the conversation if there is anything to talk about. If there's nothing to talk about, just leave a like and it's fine, okay? Well, first of all, this movie has two scenes that are like the same as The Revenant. Kraven gets murdered by a gigantic lion who like bites him and kills him. The reason why the lion attacks Kraven is because his father like shoots the lion when Kraven and the lion are having a stare down. It's like some kind of magical big lion or some BS. He gets bit by this lion. Then you have this young girl, Calypso, who has this magical elixir that she got from her grandma. And when she sees Kraven being carried by this lion, the lion drops him. And she gives Kraven the potion. And his blood and the blood of the big lion, because it's some special lion, they mix. And then he becomes just the most fast, strongest OP dude. If I would talk about Kraven's power set, it's basically like he has the powers of Captain America, like he's really strong, and also a little bit like with Batman in the sense that he has like the detective vision. He also has like some eagle eye stuff. Is like mauled as a kid by a lion. And second one is because you find out that his father, the whole time his father was the bad guy, and he made it so that the Rhino captured his other son, Dimitri, and he used Kraven and the Rhino to kill each other. His father was the bad guy all along, I guess. But then Kraven's like, okay, well guess what? There's a freaking bear here. And maybe I had the Revenant when I was a kid, but now you're gonna have the Revenant. So he gets mauled by a bear. And I really hope that the grandma of that little girl sees him after he gets mauled by the bear, gives him the elixir, and then Russell Crowe is like running around with bear powers. That's what I want to see. I want to see Nikolai Kravenov running around with his bear powers, and I want to see this big. Also, in this movie, Kraven doesn't really kill any animals. He only kills people. I don't really can tell you for sure if Kraven kills animals, because in every single comic I've read, it's just Kravenov like punching animals and not really like killing them. He does have a lot of trophies, but I've never like seen it in a comic that he's like murdering animals. If you have, please let me know in what comic down below so I can look into that. But I always just see panels of Kraven Hunter like punching monkeys and snakes and stuff. Comic accurate, I guess, I think, but correct me if I'm wrong with that. Kraven has like this orange eye. He gets the eye of the tiger and his eyes are glowing. And first bad guy to die is the Foreigner, because there's a really dope scene with the Foreigner where he shoots Kraven Hunter with like a dart, and then it makes you see like your worst nightmares before you die. Basically, the nightmare of Kraven is he sees all of these freaking spiders crawling all over his body, and he sees his mother in the mental asylum because his mother got dropped off in a mental asylum by his father, and then she died there, and he says it's his father's fault. But that's straight out of Kraven's Last Hunt. He gets like traumatized by the spiders, and he's like fighting the Foreigner, this dude who's like everywhere, nowhere, you cannot see him, and he keeps on like punching him. It's like kind of a scarecrow scene, and the scene ends with basically Calypso shows up and she just shoots this dude in the freaking head. I don't know, I don't really care for this bad guy. I didn't really care for the performance. I thought it was really vague. In the comics that I've read, I have not seen that the Foreigner has like a weird hypnotic power. Like, I don't know what that's about. He's just some dude who gets his ass whooped by Spider-Man. And then after Kraven has those nightmares, Calypso kills the Foreigner by shooting him in the head with like a crossbow, and that was a pretty dope scene. But Calypso is so much more fun in the comics than she was in this movie. I would have liked her to see her crazy side, because she's like fascinated with Kraven and she loves it when he's hunting and killing people. So I would have liked to see more of that side in this film. The Rhino in this movie is basically like a reverse version of Bane. Like Bane has like Venom, and Venom turns Bane into like a big hulking monster. And what the Rhino has in this film is he has like a stim pack, or like a really big pack of fluid he puts into his stomach, and that makes it so that he does not turn into a big rhino, because it hurts a lot to turn into a big rhino. So like every time he wants to fight, he like takes out this injection, this venom tube, and yeah, he starts like kicking butt, and he turns to a big rhino, but it hurts apparently a lot. Kraven stabs him in the hole where he puts like the fluids, so he stabs him in there.
You
You sussy baka.
He grabs some rope, ropes him up, ties him to a buffalo, and then he gets trampled. The Rhino gets trampled by a bunch of buffaloes, just like Kang the Conqueror did by a bunch of ants in Ant-Man Quantumania, so that was kind of funny.
It's I, the motherfucker!
But yeah, the Rhino dies, his father dies. Kraven also dies twice because he got killed by the foreigner, but he also gets the potion again. Then we get to the final villain, the only villain that is like still there. Yeah, the ending of this movie is basically like he goes to like the cafe where Dimitri is, and Dimitri says to him, "Oh yeah, I went to a doctor and now I'm also a gangster." And he's like, "No, you're not a gangster," because he hated his father. Like, why would you want to be that? It's like, "Yeah, but I went to a doctor and now things are different." It's like, "What doctor?" And then Dimitri, aka the chameleon, starts walking out, and Kraven starts following him out on a public bridge. He grabs him by the shoulder, and Dimitri turns around, and then you see that Dimitri has the face of Kraven the Hunter, and that was really funny because it was like that scene in Captain America, the first Avenger, where you see Steve Rogers, and then you have the face of Chris Evans put on this really tiny dude. That's like really funny because used to seeing Aaron Taylor Johnson's face on a really ripped body, on this really tiny body of Fred Badginger. You see it on a really tiny body of the chameleon. And I thought that was like, I don't know, I just had to laugh about that. In the comics, the chameleon is actually like quite a big dude. He looks fit, like not gigantic, but he's pretty fit. And in this movie, he's like this tiny dude. I thought it was funny that he could only change his face. He could change his face to Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he doesn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so people wouldn't really believe it. He could only like change it to people that are like exactly his size. The only character he could transform into realistically would be Tom Holland, I guess. And that would make sense because it's the chameleon. I think like one of the first things he does is he impersonates Spider-Man. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the comics, he does it with like makeup and masks. That's how the chameleon transforms his appearance. But in this movie, he went to a doctor that gave him surgery, which makes him transform his face. Because he has like this base face that's like the white basic face that you know from the chameleon. And he can like transform his face to whatever he wants to, I guess. But he says like a doctor did it. I don't know what doctor he's talking about. Is it like a doctor from the comics? I don't know about. I tried to do some research, but I didn't really see a doctor who gave a surgery to the chameleon so he could change his appearance. Kurt Connors, the lizard, like Dr. Kurt Connors. Is it maybe like Dr. Octopus? I don't know, the freaking Green Goblin. Because he's kind of a scientist himself, you know. Like, who was that doctor? So if you know who the doctor is, let me know in the comments down below. I would be down for a sequel, but I don't really care, to be honest. I think that Aaron Taylor Johnson is a pretty good fit for Kraven, but the thing is that at the end of the day, this performance for me, this is not the definitive Kraven, you know. But that's it for me. I thought the movie was fine. Oh, before I stop, did I already say that there was a scene where the Rhino and the foreigner were reading the Daily Bugle? If there are any Easter eggs that I missed, let me know in the comments down below. I would like to know that. And that's it for me. Doom out and have yourself a happy Doomsday.